President Biden has participated in a wreath-laying ceremony at the Seoul National Cemetery to remember those lost during the Korean War. The ceremony recognized soldiers who died defending the Republic of Korea, many of whom died fighting alongside U.S. forces. And some vets have complained about the design of Major League Baseball's on-field caps for Armed Forces Weekend. The new era camo caps are meant to honor members of the U.S. military this weekend. There's a patch on the right side that looks like a flag with the name of each team's city in the stripes, but the stars are facing the back. Stars on an American flag should always face forward in the military. Major League Baseball says the patch is not an American flag, but a logo with 6 stars to represent the branches of the military. The Biden administration is trying to stop hate crimes across the U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland says the shooting in Buffalo last weekend was a reminder that the U.S. must do everything possible to stop these kinds of crimes.
6 days ago in Buffalo, 10 people were killed, another 3 were injured, an entire community was terrorized.
Garland says all people in this country should be able to live without fear of being attacked or harassed because of where they're from, what they look like, whom they love, or how they worship. And a naked activist has been removed from a red carpet event at the Cannes Film Festival for protesting sexual violence in Ukraine. Deadline says the woman was screaming and covered in blue and yellow paint. She had the words, "Stop raping us," across her chest and stomach. She had the word "scum" written on her back. Scum is a French activist group. The stunt happened at the premiere of Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton's latest film. Now taking a look at KFI traffic, we've got a crash in Newhall.
On the 5 northbound at the 14, there's a crash picking up the truck lanes right now, and that's backing up traffic to San Fernando Road. Then in Atwater Village on the 2 southbound at Glendale Boulevard, on that off-ramp, we have a stalled vehicle taking up some space, so keep an eye on that if you're headed that way. Then in Pacoima, on the 118 eastbound, that's in 210, we have a work zone taking away the transition to the 210 west until 8. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Vince Collins.
A mortgage refinance might be the smartest move you make all year. It could save you thousands in interest, maybe help pay your loan off sooner, even allow you to access cash. But to really capitalize on a mortgage refinance, you must be sure you're choosing the right loan with the right lender. That's why I recommend American Financing, America's home for home loans. For over 20 years, they've been an industry leader, offering competitive rates, low monthly payments, and custom terms without ever charging upfront or hidden fees. It's a no-pressure experience that's focused on you, and it just takes a 10-minute call to get started. You'll get a free mortgage review where you'll learn about ways to save up to $1,000 a month. And if you start soon, you could skip 2 payments, but only by calling American Financing 800-906-2440. That's 800-906-2440, or visit AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Southland weather from KFI, low clouds and some patchy drizzle this morning, then sunny by the afternoon, mid-60s at the beaches, upper 60s to low 70s in metro LA and OC, upper 60s to mid-70s in the inland valleys, and low to upper 70s in the Inland Empire. Right now it's 62 degrees in Irvine, 61 in Fountain Valley, 61 in Culver City, and 61 in Inglewood. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Brian Berumen.
Alabama, Arkansas, I do love my mom and pa, not the way that I love you. Holy moly, me oh my, you're the apple of my eye. Girl, you never loved no one like you. Man, oh man, you're my best friend. I scream if there's nothing there. There ain't nothing that I need. Well, how heaven's pumpkin pie, chocolate candy, Jesus Christ. There ain't nothing please me more than you. I'm home, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you. I'm home, let me come home. Home is wherever I'm with you.
It never ceases to amaze me how many creative covers there are to our theme music. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. You are listening to Home. I'm Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer, custom home builder, custom home designer, here with you live like I am every weekend, Saturdays from 6 to 8, Sundays from 9 to 11. Welcome to the second hour of our fine program. What are we here to do? I'm here to help. to be an advocate for you as you wrestle with construction on your home, a design mentor for you, very much today, a design mentor for you, and a friend, because why not? Helping you build yourself a more beautiful home, more beautiful life, and here's the catch, to do it more affordably and more artfully than you had ever imagined. That is our goal. This weekend, I'm taking a two-part series, today and tomorrow, talking about the very tricky scenario of finding your style, finding your own personal style, because finding a style, the intent, the story that we're going to tell for your home, for your remodel, for your new home build, whatever that may be, that is the first and most important step. It is the foundation for everything that goes forward from there. And I've been saying that we've been discussing 6 significant problems that get in the way of finding your style. The most problematic of which, the last one, that most people find themselves in one camp or the other on the style spectrum. There are those who don't see style as being all that important. They think it's sort of vain and frivolous. They don't see what the fuss is all about. That's a group that doesn't understand the practical effects that style has on all of us. And then there's a group that really wants to find their style, so much so that there's the risk of taking it to the extreme that it sort of paralyzes you, and you don't know what decision to make because we're taking it so seriously. So my goal here in the next few minutes is to take the pressure off that group and to put a little pressure on the other one. So let's do that. Let's talk about those of you who I think are probably in the majority of our faithful listeners, those who are serious about finding your style and who may be stressed by the idea that, what if I make the wrong decision? So here's the thing. Let's get a healthy understanding of what living in a dream home really means. And I can speak with some authority on this since that's my job, to build dream homes for people. If you're an old coot like me, but hip, if you're hip and old, at the same time, which is probably not even a thing that is possible. But anyway, you might remember from the 90s the movie The Fight Club. Ed Norton, right? Brad Pitt, really intense movie. I really actually liked Fight Club a lot. It is a postmodern nihilistic philosophical rant on the woes of modern society. So Ed Norton's character, there's a place near the beginning of the film where he goes on a rant and he's mocking rampant consumerism as symbolized for him by the IKEA catalog. Okay? It's kind of a funny take on things. But he says one of the most memorable lines of the movie, for me at least, and as a designer, it struck me then and it has just stuck with me. He says this, and he's saying this in all seriousness. He says, "What coffee table defines me as a person?" I love that line, and I'm sharing it with you because I think it symbolizes the difficulty of those of us who take design very seriously. We get caught in this trap. What coffee table defines me as a person? Well, here's the thing. We don't need to go that far. It's impossible. All right, so let me just take the pressure off you. No coffee table defines you as a person. We're just looking to make a good choice that resonates with you in the setting that you find yourself in. That's it. A good choice that resonates with you in this setting, here and now, not once and for all. All right, and so let me underscore this. Tina and I live in a home that we redesigned ourselves from corner to corner, right? Whose interiors are various forms of early 20th century design. That was a very intentional decision on our part. We had long conversations about that and what it means to us, why we love it.
I would like to think that our home is an extremely thoughtful home. Most people who walk into it get that impression as well, and so there you go. We've tried to be mindful about all of our choices, and as a result, our home tells a story. I think a really lovely story. But does it tell our whole story? Of course not. Does the fact that we've chosen these expressions for this house structure mean that we couldn't live in any other style of home? Not at all. We're home designers. We love many different styles. And we love them, okay? All it means to live in a, so you're saying, Dean, that this isn't your dream home? No, of course it's a dream home. It's a dream home because everywhere I turn, this house fits me really, really well. And it fits Tina really, really well. And it pleases us in all of those aspects. So all it means is that this home tells as much of our story as it possibly can. It will never tell the whole story. Because there are parts of me that if you gave me the option, would I set a home like this on a lake in a forest? Yes, I would. Oh, yes. Yes, I would. Would it be on a cliff in New England above a rocky seashore? Oh, yes, it would. See, that's a different place, too. And there are several other locations where I could imagine living in, quote-unquote, my dream home. So you see, it doesn't always have to be, in fact, it never should be somehow this summary of everything all together, period, permanent, that's it, okay? So take the stuff away, okay? Living in a dream home means you've done your best to tell a story that resonates with you, and that you're simply getting the most out of this home, telling as much of your story as it possibly can. And it doesn't have to go beyond that. Okay. I hope we are all breathing a collective sigh of relief that you don't have to experience the paralysis of figuring out what coffee table defines you as a person. No. Okay, so just take a rest. Now, for that other person. Yeah, you. I know, you. I'm talking to you. The one who says, why is style even important? Just buy the damn couch, okay? We need to have a talk about a growing understanding of how style actually affects our minds. I'm going to be borrowing a few tidbits from a website that I really love, entitled You'reNotSoSmart.com. I love this blog because he goes out of his way to find areas of scientific fact where things that we don't like to think they have an effect on us. Yeah, they do. And we have known for well over a century and a half how color and shape and the psychology of identity and symbolism, all, whether you like it or not, has an effect on you. And so since it does, and I'm going to show you some indications of how it does, since it does, design of your new home, of your new remodel, that needs to move near the top of your list, because this is going to be something, as Winston Churchill said, in which we shape our buildings, and right after that, they begin to shape us. Okay, more of that when we return. I'm so glad you joined me this morning. So much more to come. You're home with Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer. Let's hear the news.
Brian Rubin live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. California has reached its lowest unemployment rate since the start of the pandemic at 4.6%, gaining back more than 91% of the jobs lost in 2020. President Biden has signed a $40 billion aid package for Ukraine, and Russia has stopped all natural gas exports to Finland after Finland says it wants to join NATO. We're going to have a look at some trouble on the freeways next.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. The Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, guarantees equal access for the disabled as a constitutional right. The problem is, even though it's been the law of the land since 1990, most brick-and-mortar businesses and commercial properties and multi-unit dwellings are still not in compliance. Your property or place of business without a CASP
certification is a lawsuit waiting to happen. And if you think, it's not a big deal, you should know that California leads the country in ADA lawsuits. So what do? You call ARCOR. ARCOR will identify your ADA deficiencies and show you the path to the certification you need to minimize your exposure. One ADA lawsuit can break you. Get out in front of liability with ADA certification from ARCOR. Call ARCOR toll-free at 866-613-2519. That's 866-613-2519, or go to adagurus.com. Now let's take a look at some KFI traffic.
In Newhall on the 5 northbound at the 14, there's a crash taking up the truck lanes, and that's backing up traffic to San Fernando Road. Then in Laguna Hills on the 5 southbound from El Toro Road to Alicia Parkway, there's a work zone taking away the 2 right lanes until 8. Then in Pacoima on the 118 eastbound at the 210, there's a work zone taking away the transition to the 210 west until 8. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Vince Cole.
This report is sponsored by Discover. With prices soaring at the pump, Discover has your back with cashback. Use Discover to earn 5% cash back at gas stations and Target now through June on up to $1,500 in purchases when you activate. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/rewards. This report is sponsored by Discover.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if the prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Results are guaranteed or your money back. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Hey all, it's Dean Sharp. I want to tell you about the good folks at Aldic Home. In business for more than 60 years, Aldic is Southern California's premier Christmas and holiday shopping destination, but that's because Aldic is the unrivaled master of life-like silk flowers, decorative trees, and all those one-of-a-kind accessories and finishing touches for your home. But did you also know that Aldic Home